What's up, what's up, guys? Bloodshed here. Welcome to the Crusader Invoker Starter build for Diablo 3 patch 2.6.5 and season 17. Now in these videos, they're like survival theory crafting type guides just to get you going and let you know what I would do every aspect of the game from level 1 all the way up to endgame. Don't even do your challenge rift until the season starts. Make a level 1 character and then claim your challenge rift bag. I like to start the videos off by level 1 blood shard recommendations. You open up your bag, you get 475 blood shards. What would you use? Well, I would roll shields. So if you roll shields like Kadath, there are Crusader shields in the item pool, and there are regular shields, both of which give you a nice multiplier. You can get the denial shield here. When you use sweep attack, it increases the damage of your next sweep attack. It stacks up to 5 times. So you get a really nice multiplier at level 1. And then you can also get the Guard of Johanna. Blessed Hammer, damage is increased by 250 for the first 3 enemies it hits. They're both really awesome to use. I would prefer the Guard of Johanna if I was to pick one because Blessed Hammer only costs 10 resource and it hits extremely hard. It's one of the hardest hitting low cost spenders in the game. Limitless Rune does 640 weapon damage for only 10 resource. That's some incredible value. Sweep attack only costs 10 wrath or 20 wrath, also. So it's not too bad. Invoker is the start to the season, so you could make a case for the chest armor, the Heart of Iron. I mean, it's not the best thing ever, but you're getting, thorns and you're stacking vitality anyway on your characters, so you can make a case for that. You could also make a case for Poxfolds in general. If you go to Pants, you can roll Poxfolds. So you might get a shield right away, and then you'll have extra blood shards left over. You can pivot to the Heart of Iron or Poxfolds. The Challenger bag allows us to upgrade anything that we want. I would go for shields, maybe get a cool shield here. There's a lot of good options like the Jecking Board for Blessed Shield, or you can go flails. There's a lot of good flails here, like the Swift Mount you can use with Invoker. Synergizes nicely. You'd be riding around using your Thorns damage to kill your enemies. The Mortal Drama also synergizes as well. So while leveling, we already talked about it, but low cost spenders are always the best thing you can do for yourself. So typically you want to carry a generator to generate resource, and then you want to spend it with Blessed Hammer. This is just the best, or even the Fire Rune's good, but Limitless has tremendous value. Anything that costs low resource and does a lot of damage, I would basically stick to Blessed Hammer the whole way, unless you get something to augment, like there's a item that removes the cost of Blessed Shield, then you can go that direction. If you don't know about the Invoker set, it's all based on Thorns damage. Thorns doesn't crit. Thorns isn't affected by crit damage either. You want to stack main stats, so strength, vitality, life on a hit, and cooldown, attack speed. These kind of stats are really, really good for Invoker. You get Thorns damage based off your strength. If you have that Heart of Iron we talked about, then you get more Thorns based on your vitality. The cooldown allows some of your Thorns cooldowns to come up faster. And then the attack speed allows you to use life on hit faster. Also, it allows you to apply Thorns really fast. So you'll see a lot of Invoker Crusaders using daggers because the faster you're attacking, the faster you're applying Thorns. So the 2-piece, your Thorns damage now hits all enemies in a radius around you. Each time you hit an enemy with Punish, Slash, or Block an attack, your Thorns is increased by 350%. The 4-piece, you take 50% less damage for 20 seconds after damaging enemies with bombardment. So this is almost like a defensive cooldown. It is on a minute cooldown, but you can get this item called the Belt of the Trove every, I think it's up to 8 seconds to call down a bombardment on a random enemy. So you basically have your 50% damage reduction up all the time once you get this belt, so you don't have to really think about it. But until then, you have to manually cast it and all that stuff. But it does do a lot of damage. This is all Thorn spike barrels, basically. So no Paragon, nothing beneficial in the cube for any things that I'm actually using. I'm using the 4-piece, all baseline marquee gems, a little yellow dagger, man. Oh, and then the Topaz in the weapon gives you Thorns damage, right? Also, so while you're leveling real quick, you can craft level 70 gear when you hit 70. You can also look for Thorns damage on your gear. I purposely didn't put any Thorns damage on the yellow gear, so I wouldn't like mess up the testing whatsoever. It's all RNG, right? So you can look for Thorns gear and hit even harder and push even farther than I did. Like none of this has Thorns, only the Invoker, which always rolls Thorns as a secondary stat. So you have the Thorns gear, You have the gem and the weapon, and then you have your passive Iron Maiden, which buffs your Thorns damage. Jump into a GR20 clear. You hop on your pony, look for the first elite you can find. I'm just gonna pop all my cooldowns now. I don't even wanna think about it. And the first enemy you hit, you're applying that Thorns so you can see around you. But it's kind of really inefficient. You only wanna look for elites. So a lot of people don't like that single target playstyle, but you go to elites and you smack them and they die, right? And think about, since you don't spend resource, think about Aquila Curious in the build. And there's a lot of ways to make it tankier. You can use like double unity. You won't have that early game, but everything else are your defensive cooldowns like Iron Skin and Bombardment. So let's find an enemy and hit them with Bombardment. Is this an elite? No. So we got a blue pack here. I'll probably cast Bombardment right on them and they're gonna get destroyed. And then I have my other cooldowns and you basically just click and things get obliterated, right? So this is, yeah, this and Impale I would say would be an S tier, God tier starts to the season. And like I said, you can push pretty hard. You can get the Justice Lantern for more survivability. There's a lot of things. You can focus on more block and yeah. Invoker Crusader, really good start. The first time you do a GR every season, you get a Bane of the Powerful. And of course, if you accept the Malthael kill, if you kill Malthael on any difficulty, you get access to create the Reaper's Wraps, which give you more resource. You don't need it in the build, but you might need it in the future. If you play, say, Lawn Condemned or something like that, you might be happy you just got it then, but it's not necessary like it is with other builds since we don't really spend resource. All links will be in the description. This is what the 6-piece looks like. And you'll use the speed version of this for a little while until you get your Blessed Shield speed build, till you get your Con with Condemn set up. But the speed Invoker build, which you're seeing on screen, is mobile. It does a lot of damage, and it's basically exactly what we covered here. You ride around, pop your cooldowns, and melee mobs to death. It's pretty effective for GRs, bounties. I would say it dominates even up to like T16 domination. It's only so fast because you have to manually hit every single enemy versus like multi-shot or Wave of Light. You can hit 30 enemies at once. But with this build, you have to get up on them and manually swing around. So it's a little bit limiting in the mechanics, but I mean, it's a great starter, really solid start. You can push really high with it. You can tank yourself out since you don't have to stack double crit, or technically you don't even really need cooldown. You can focus on just the tanky stats and go really far early game. It wouldn't shock me to see Invoker Crusaders breaking GR 100 within the first day of the season just because of how they function and how they perform well at a low level. Invoker is the strongest solo push build. We have a video here on the channel. It is actually the strongest solo push build here in Season 16. In Season 17, I think that's going to go to Lawn Blessed Shield. We covered it here on the channel as well. It just hits so hard, and the Blessed Shield is really fun to play, and it's a unique mechanic. And you can use it for speeds also. So just like you can use Invoker for every aspect of the game, you can use Blessed Shield for bounties, for torments, for pushing, all that stuff. Another cool thing is it doesn't use any resource, so we can use the Aquila Curious with Blessed Shield. It's just the mechanics of the set allow no resource usage. Another build you can play is a Con Sage. So if you want like a Sage build, you want to get those double DBs. If you don't know, they changed the Sage set. So when you kill an enemy, or an elite pack rather, you get double Death's Breath now. Before there was just one extra DB. Now it's just completely double baseline. And the Akon set is one of the best sets to use a Sage version. Same thing, right around your pony, click a button and things die. Akon Condemn hits super hard. You can play a Lawn Condemn as well. So Crusader has a lot of options, and there's even a build called Holy Shotgun. It's a very tanky build also. When you block, you shoot out these Fist of Heavens. It's pretty cool, man. Again, we covered it all on the channel. You have a lot of work to do if you're playing Crusader, I guess. Not a lot of work, but you have a lot of things to choose from. It has some of the most variety. For group play, not so much though. So what you have such a strong variety in solo pushing, you kind of lack the group play. But again, you can run any 3 DPS up to around 110 or so. So you can do like speed 110s with 1 support and any 3 DPS in the game, right? You can take 3 rolling Crusaders and crush a 110. It's not, the game just changed, like everything is higher now than it was before. I could talk for hours. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to follow me at twitch.tv/bloodshed. Special shout out to all my patrons who make these videos even possible. All my Twitch subs out there, appreciate you. I will be back soon. You will have me all week, all season long. I can't wait to crack open the lawn season. This is the Bloodshed, and I'm out of here. Peace.